Hey guys, welcome back to our Philip Trading Podcast. I'm your host for today. My name is Casey and I'm a dealer here at Philip Capital. So now before we start, please take note that this presentation has not been reviewed by the Securities Commission Malaysia and it is for general educational purpose only. It is not an invitation to buy or sell any investment products. Hence, the speaker and also PCSB are not liable for any financial decisions you may make based on the content of these presentations. So with us today is an extremely experienced speaker, David. So how are you today, David?
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, it's good to hear that. So now before we start, let me just bring you through a quick introduction to our esteemed speaker for today, David Ng. So David Ng is currently a full-time proprietary trader with Iceberg Sdn Bhd, a local proprietary trading firm based in KL. He has done extensive research and is well versed in the commodities and also index markets. So he currently trades the Malaysian index and also CPO, which is crude palm oil futures market. Currently, he holds a CMT designation as a chartered market technician. So previously, he led a young and dynamic team with a prominent local broker in order to promote the futures and also derivative instruments to the Malaysian public. And he also conduct a regular public seminar and webinar on topics relating to the futures trading and has aided individuals in starting their trading journey. In addition, he also provides frequent market commentaries to local media like The Star, Business Times, and also The Age in that role. So what an interesting speaker we have today. So well, I won't hold too much of your time. So let's get straight into the content. So on to you, David.
Yeah, sure. Thank you, Casey, for the introduction. So, I'm just going to share a very brief preview of what I'm going to be talking about in the upcoming webinar. So I just prepared a few slides. So don't mind, just let me just share those slides. Casey, are you able to see my slides?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. So I think the topic of the webinar is talking on gold. So I think gold has actually been a very interesting commodity has in terms of prices that actually been coming around, especially for this year and also last year. We've seen a massive rally in gold prices. So the key thing to ask ourselves is whether gold prices can continue to rally or is it going to face exhaustion. So I think as usual, risk disclaimer. Any materials that's presented here today is purely for educational. So yeah. So you can see that actually gold really struggle to hold above the 5,000 mark. But really, I think the key thing to watch is really can gold still retains its rally. Having said that, I think there's a couple of reasons which I'm going to share more in detail in the upcoming webinar. Which we probably will see that gold will continue to either be in a range or very likelihood over the longer to medium to longer term, we could see another rally in gold prices. Now, obviously, besides gold, we have seen commodities in general been doing very well this year. We have seen how strong oil prices is. So as a result, I think that will create an overlapping effect into the gold market as well. Why is that so? Because I think this year or even in months to come, inflation is going to be a thing that is in everybody's mind. Not only we have in Malaysia are feeling the heat because of high oil prices, but I think around the world journey are also feeling the heat with rising prices. So inflation is going to be something that's going to be a major driver for gold prices. So watch out. I think central banks, inflation, these two are the key drivers for the gold market. So if you are trading gold for quite some time, I think this is going to be exciting here because volatility has returned. Prices as you've seen how gold prices react on a daily basis. So really crucial to watch is that how gold prices will react in this type of environment where we have high inflation and also interest rates expected to, in fact, it's not going to come down, but it's going to increase. Now, the funny thing is that besides gold, notice that equities market are also on a strong rally. So it's a very unusual period we are in. We are in a period where we see strong gold prices. We are also seeing all-time high equity indices, especially in the US market. So it's a very peculiar situation they are in. But I'm going to explain to you in more detail why is this environment happening in upcoming webinar. Now, I don't go too much in this preview, but I think looking at demand and supply, really, I think what triggers gold rally is usually demand. So as long as gold demand remains very strong, I think that could generally means higher prices going forward. So I'm going to break down in detail what are the areas of demand that we are seeing, and in those demand, are we going to see any sustainable demand, especially with central bank? If you notice and you have aware, past couple of sessions of gold sessions when I talk about gold, demand from central bank was actually the key demand driver. Now, would that be another? Will that continue for another year? I think that's going to be something that is worth discussing, because eventually that will really show whether the support for gold is going to be strong or not. Now, obviously, people are more interested in prices. So prices has actually reached an all-time high, of close to 5,000 US dollar per troy ounce. So the key thing to watch is that can we see that to continue, or we'll probably see a bit of softening, or towards the middle or even throughout the whole year. What really comes to our mind is that I think is gold is different on a different leg cycle now. I think the potential for gold rally is going to be there. The narrative for gold, why gold is needed in part of your portfolio, or why gold is such a heavy demand, is because you have seen how gold prices rally. That created a lot of interest. So to answer the question whether gold prices reach a temporary peak, I think it's too early to tell. But I think I'm just going to share more in detail in the webinar on why I personally think that gold will not reach a temporary peak. Instead, it's consolidating at this point in time, but I think eventually it will tend to break from the long-term cycle. And in fact, potentially we could see another rally in gold prices. So I think that's pretty much what I want to share in this preview. So you want to find out more about where the gold prices is going to hit, where are we going to see stronger demand, that can really lift prices even higher. I think those are what areas I'm going to share. And most importantly is that as a trader, we want to learn tools, or we want to explore tools that we can use to go around to navigate the market. So I'm just also going to share that as well. So if you are thinking you want to explore in the gold market, or if you are new in the gold market trading space, do join the webinar session, at which I'm going to share a little bit more in detail on how all these factors and drivers, and in fact, what are the tools needed to trade this market. Yeah,
All right, so that was such an insightful sessions. So thank you, David. Yeah, so
sure,
if you are interested for the insights of trading gold market, you may join David's full-length live webinar on the same topic on Wednesday, 27th of May, 8 p.m. until 9 p.m. Also, you can utilize the insights shared by David by gaining exposure to the CME Go market with Phillip Capital. So for more information, you can kindly visit our website at flip.com.my. So thank you all for turning in, and also thank you, David, for your time. Right, so I
sure. See you
think,
soon.
yes, we are gonna to stop at here.